baby. The rivalry is real. So much I can feel it. Out of respect for my next guest, let me go ahead and zip these colors up,
please.
because we have a legendary man, a Super Bowl champion. And let me put this in perspective. When I was playing in the league, he led the NFL in receiving touchdowns with 14. That ain't no joke. So give it up for the man, the myth, the legend, former Green Bay Packer, James Jones to the building.
Baby. I appreciate that, man. That's well done,
I got to show you some love, man. Hey, but listen, you're a legendary Packers wide receiver. This group, though, I'm not sure the world knows who they are outside of Devontae Adams.
Very true.
So give us some thoughts and how you feel about these wide receivers.
Well, I mean, I really like G-Mo. I mean, the first 3 games last year before G-Mo got hurt, I mean, he was the leading wide receiver. So
okay, giving us nicknames. I think the world needs.
Geronimo Allison.
Okay,
Geronimo Allison. I call him G-Mo. But G-Mo's one of those dudes that he can win the one-on-ones. He can run very good routes. He ain't a guy that's going to blow the top off, but he's a very good route runner, can win the one-on-ones, very good hands. So I think if he gets one-on-one coverage, Aaron will go to him. And the other guy is Valdez Scantling. I mean, he's a big boy. He's different than me because he can fly.
He can
you
fly.
know what I mean? He's every bit of 4'3". So, I mean, they'll try to take some shots with him. Aaron's been telling me that he's been playing faster. Everybody can run 4'3", you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you play 4'3" on the football field? He wasn't doing that last year. Aaron said this year in training camp he's looked 4'3" in practice. So we're looking for him to step up. And then obviously you got beast mode over there. You got Devontae Adams, who don't nobody want to walk up on him and press him or get in his face because he is a bad man. So they got a good young receiver core that Aaron's creating some chemistry with, and I think it'll be a good day.
I'm dressed like Lombardi, of course. That's the great coach of
They
the
got
Packers.
me in the middle of all this.
I know.
Right,
You and I here. 13 years Mike McCarthy was the head coach. Now LaFleur comes in. Matt LaFleur's never been a head coach at any level, and Matt LaFleur was just an offensive coordinator for the first time last year. So I'm asking you, James, as a veteran wide receiver, would you be a bit skeptical of this guy, or are you embracing, hey, some new blood and some new thinking?
Keep it real.
You know what? It depends on how it's been looking in practice. If he's been calling some good stuff in practice where I'm like, okay, he's dialing this stuff up, we finna have a good year. And then you look at the guy who's throwing the ball. You know what I mean? So beyond what the coach is doing, we got a special guy throwing the ball, you know. But over the training camp, if I'm like, okay, look, this offense is going to be clicking. We already got 12, but LaFleur is dialing these things up, putting us in position to make plays. Then you going into this game with confidence. So hopefully that's what's been going on. When I was out there at training camp, it was a lot of movement, something we never did. We line up and play because we say we better than you. Come guard us. Yeah. We got Jordan, we got Donald, we got Greg. Pick your poison. You know what I mean? Because one of us is getting one-on-one, we go in there. They don't got that now. And now you see a lot of movement, a lot of free throws, a lot of guys running open. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
James, the matchup to look at tonight is Khalil Mack up against Aaron Rodgers, 2 of the best at their position, going against each other here in Chicago hours from now. I'm not going to ask you who has the edge because I think I know the answer. Make the best case for why Aaron Rodgers will get the best of this Bears defense.
I mean, it's unknown. And that's what the Bears is coming into right now. Nate, you know, when you come into a defense where they got a new coach and, you know, you seen them in preseason, but you ain't seen the starters.
Right.
So you really don't know how the defense is going to look. They seen this offense in preseason a little bit, but they have not seen it with Aaron Rodgers. So I think the Packers are going to jump out on them early because the Bears do not know what's going to hit them. And the Bears will regroup in the second half, but I think it's going to be too late. But I think that's what's scary for the Bears in this game because they do not know what this offense is going to look like with 12 behind center.
Great point.
And they are going to have to come in the first half and feel, oh, this is what they're doing. This is what they're trying to do. This is what we got to do. And I think it's going to be too late.
Well, if the Packers jump him early, Trubisky's going to have to start throwing. The soundbite that's been all through the Chicago media the last few weeks is Matt Nagy saying last year for Trubisky was offense 101. This year we got to get him to 202. We need a big jump for him. You've seen him a little bit. We haven't seen him in a while, though. James, do you think Mitch Trubisky can make the jump this year?
I think he can, and I truly believe it's all because of Matt Nagy.
Yeah.
Matt Nagy is special, man. I watched his offense last year, and it was 10 straight plays, 10 different formations. You know what I mean? And as a defense, I mean, how do you game plan for that? You know, so he puts Mitchell in so many positions to succeed. Now, if we can make him one-dimensional and force them to throw that ball and jump up on him, I don't know if Mitch is ready for that in year 3 to kind of bring a team back and come back when you don't have a run game behind you and you really got to rely on his right arm. So, but if it's close and they can get to every play in the playbook, it's going to be tough on our defense to be able to slow them down.
Let's look past this game for a second and spin it to the weekend. You mentioned over the summer that Odell and Jarvis Landry will be the #1 duo in all of football, the best duo. Why do you think that they're going to start off setting the league on fire, starting with the Titans?
Well, these are two dudes that can play every position.
Yeah.
I mean, you talking about the Z, you talking about the zebra, you talking about
X,
the
X.
I mean, they can do it all. So when you game plan for these guys, I mean, you could try to follow Odell if you want, but if he goes in at the #3, that's a lot of space for a corner to be trying to follow a big-time receiver.
Especially a nickelback.
And then you're talking about both of them have special hands, so it doesn't matter where Baker throws the ball. They are going to be able to make a play on the football, and that's what makes this duo special. If you want to take away Juice, Jarvis Landry is going to kill you. Vice versa. If you want to take away Juice, OBJ is going to kill you, and you're not going to play him man-to-man, so now you got to play him zone. And every receiver wants to be in zone.
Sure.
Just find a spot.
You're on the network. You know these shows. There's always got to be the contrarian, and I almost feel like I'm the contrarian when we talk about Antonio Brown, because I see the hijinks even yesterday, putting the letter from Mayock on Instagram and saying the devil of my own team and all this stuff. You talked to him, obviously, at training camp. You were on Hard Knocks. You've played with the Raiders. Antonio Brown, how does this turn out? Because if I'm being a hater, which I'm always called, I have my doubts.
No, I don't. Because, I mean, just this dude right here is a special talent. And you talking about the Raiders are going to make sure they get him every target he is supposed to get. And trust me, believe me, they brought him over here to play football. They knew when they traded for him he wasn't a saint off the field. They knew that. So they knew a little baggage was going to come with him. You know what I mean? And they were willing to risk that and take that. And all them dudes in that building have his back, you know. But I could guarantee you Gruden, Mayock, Coach Olsen is in that meeting right now. Like, we have to get the ball in this dude's hands. And I think he is going to have a big day on Monday night against the Broncos. In the black hole, it's going to be lit, and they're going to make sure their star is out there and gets every opportunity to be special.
Love it.
Yeah, I can tell by the Letterman's jacket who you got. So
Yes,
I'm not
sir.
going to ask you who's going to win, but is it going to be a close game or a blowout?
Oh, man, I could never say it's going to be a blowout against the Bears, man. This rivalry is serious. It's going to be a close game. Like I said, we jump out on them. I think the Bears make adjustments. They come back in the second half. They slow Aaron Rodgers and that offense down, come back in there and make the game close.
Hey, I appreciate
Yes, sir.
you. Listen, man, I love what you did on the field, but it's going to pale in comparison to what you do on TV, man. You're a rock star, man.
Appreciate it,
you
man.
are.
I'm trying to be like y'all, man. Y'all be killing it,
Touchdowns.
man.
He won a lot of fantasy leagues for people out there. Speaking of fantasy, you got to set your lineups ahead of kickoff to Bears-Packers. So who's in your lineup presented by the Capital One Venture Card? Okay, I've got some sleepers. Don't get too cute, but there are late scratches. Crazy things can happen from now into kickoff. This is my all-sleeper fantasy team. Jameis Winston, I love him against the Niners, guys. Entering a contract year, it's go time. He's got top-tier receivers. BA is going to get the best out of him. Do not underestimate the Bruce Arians effect on Winston. You know he's going to put up huge numbers, yards especially. Their defense and run game is unproven. At running back, I like Mark Ingram against the Dolphins. We don't know exactly what this offense is going to look like, but do you see a week 1 situation against Miami without Mark Ingram scoring at least a touchdown? No, I think he's out there to prove something. People are saying he's over the hill on the wrong side of being a running back. If that's effective on the decline, this team's going to run the ball. At wideout, let's go with the Chicago guy, Allen Robinson against the Packers. Wide receiver, one in his second year in this offense, second year removed from injury, coming off a great camp against a young, unproven secondary. Kyle Bryant's breakout star of 2019.
They're going to go to him, Kay. They got big plans for Allen Robinson this year.
Yeah, and you always want to have a guy to root for, you said.
Absolutely. I love playing a guy in the game tonight. It makes it more fun.
At tight ends, I like Darren Waller. He's got the Broncos. It was death taxes and play your tight ends against the Broncos for the past several years. So we've all heard all camp, he is lighting it up. We saw flashes of it in the preseason. He can catch. He was a wide receiver. He brings athleticism. So you can keep him for week 2 as well because of the Chiefs' defense. I talked about it earlier in the show. Seahawks are going to crush it against the Bengals. They added Clowney, Ansah. They still have Bobby Wagner, Mr. 99. My Defensive Player of the Year pick. Bengals don't have A.J. Green. They've got a banged-up offensive line and a coach who is coaching his first game ever on the NFL level. So those are my sleepers for fantasy, and it feels good to know we're just
Better wake up!
We're going to have scores. We're going to have fantasy points, all of that. James Jones, thanks for being here.
Not a
Good
problem.
job, James. Good job.
We are less than 12 hours away from kickoff. Who you got tonight?
I'll tell you after the break. Who you got tonight?
Ooh, there he is.
No, I don't know. I'm thinking the Packers.
That man right there.
That boy's special, man.
Something different.
You were glowing talking about him.
Something